Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the only time I say something like this, but welcome. Good to see you, Cohagen. Good to see you, Ravi. Good to see you, Julian. It's good to see all of you. Let's go ahead and get started with this very special One Piece chapter reaction. Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome not only to a brand new chapter of One Piece, but we're also celebrating 27 years of One Piece! Yes, 27 years of One Piece. Can you believe it's been 27 years? It's amazing. But yes, good to see you, Halster. 27 years of One Piece. That just amazes me how long this story's been around. So, let's just get a little bit of a recap before we start with chapter 1121. In chapter 1120, Emmett arose and he's defending the Giants and the Straw Hat crew from the Gorosei. We lose Atlas. She pretty much blows herself up in order to, not only deter Nasjuro, but also basically keep him from trying to cut apart the entire ship. And Emmett is last seen saying like, I think this is a good time. I'm gonna use it, okay, Joy Boy? So a lot of things are happening right now, and Vegapunk's message is about to conclude. Not only that, but we also found out that Professor Clover was a D, along with his brother. So there's a whole lot of stuff that was revealed in the last chapter. But let's go ahead and begin with chapter 1121. Ooh, we have a full cover page that just centers on Nami. We got Nami in beachwear while all of the Straw Hats are like miniaturized and all around her, and she's just chilling. It's a very nice color page. It's a very nice one. Where's Sanji? Where? Yeah, there he is. He's simping. He's on her leg. He just got his tongue out, heart eyes. Everyone else is just chilling. Zoro's cutting apart a watermelon. Luffy's holding onto a giant ice cream cone with Usopp diving after. And then Chopper's in Nami's hand while he's like chilling as well, along with Robin. Then we got, where's Jinbei? Jinbei, he's just in the background. He's like in this small crease between her leg and arm, like in the background because of that. And Brooke is just like playing music as always. But yeah, and Frankie's riding on what looks to be like a giant rubber duck with a spiked collar on it. This is all in all, this is a very nice looking color page. Chapter 1121, hold on. You cannot start this chapter with the title being called The Upheaval of the Era. What do you mean upheaval? And then we have chapter 1121, The Upheaval of the Era. Watch out for the claws! And this is Luffy. Fire cannons! Stop them! They're poisoned! Don't touch them! We're trying not to touch them, but the attacks are too fierce! And this is Saturn. Saturn has made it onto the giant ship. He's on the mast, and he's just using his legs to try and kill the giants, but they're doing their best to defend themselves. But they're also trying not to actually actively touch his limbs because they're also incredibly poisonous. Literally instantaneous. They might as well be acid legs. Poisonous, acidic to the touch. And Saturn is just like with that same old inhuman face, big old beard, wide eyes, steadily trying to attack the giants. And then we have, who is this, Bonnie or Luffy? This is Luffy. Yeah, this is Luffy going, he just keeps coming down to the very end. And then it cuts to Bonnie, who has assumed her form, distorted future where she's most free form again. Her version of Gear 5, and Luffy notices. Then it cuts to Saturn, who aims for Bonnie, but Luffy punches his fist because he also uses Haki to protect himself. And then Saturn gets repelled a little bit, but Bonnie jumps up. Bonnie jumps up in front of him, and then Saturn just goes, Bonnie! And Bonnie is wheezing as Luffy goes, that's it, Bonnie! You can do it! And then Vegapunk continues going,
One day, the memories of the Void Century will be recalled, and mark my words, that day is coming. The sinking of the world's continents was a man-made disaster brought about by weapons.
And mind you, this is... What is this place? Which place is this? This isn't... This is either... Galila? This is either Galila or someplace else. I'm trying to make out some of the people. I'm trying to see if I can see members of the Galila company here. But it's... There's this one location and people are, like... having a big uproar over Vegapunk's words. And then when Vegapunk says, the sinking of the world's continents, it centers on Shirahoshi. And then when he says,
was a man-made disaster brought about by weapons,
and it centers on Vivi.
Weapons which by someone's design...
Yo! We haven't seen How? Ain't no way y'all just gonna show Skypiea. Y'all ain't gonna show all the people from Skypiea all of a sudden. Ain't no way. And it has your girl. It has your girl. I forget her name. It's been so long since I read that volume for you guys. But we're centering on Skypiea, and we have the giant snake. We have the little Shandoran girl there as well. Everyone. Is that Wiper? Is that Wiper? Is that Wiper? I think they might be going to the home of Ganfor. Yeah, Ganfor. Yeah, they might be going to the home of Ganfor. If I'm saying his name wrong, someone will correct me in chat. I thank you ahead of time because I kind of forget how to pronounce his name. But
the sinking of the world's continents was a man-made disaster brought about by weapons. Weapons which by someone's design still exist today. The machinations of history and fate seem to insist upon the obliteration of those last descendants of rare races.
And here's another moment. Here's another moment where fate, the theme of fate, is taken into account and is brought up again.
The machinations of history and fate seem to insist upon the obliteration of those last descendants of rare species.
And it centers on Kuma. And it goes back to the flashback when Vegapunk was asking Kuma,
are you a buccaneer?
What makes my blood different from other people's? And then it centers in on Marco as he's listening in as well. And he's thinking back to when Whitebeard was telling him about the people who lived atop the Red Line before the Celestial Dragons, the Lunarians.
Atop the red line, there used to be a land of gods up there.
And he's actually laughing in this flashback. And then it cuts to King.
A Lunarian, huh? I hear the government pays 100 million for tips on your kind.
Oh wait, this is Kaido. I forgot. I think this was Kaido who was saying this to King Albert back then.
A Lunarian, huh? I hear the government pays 100 million for tips on your kind.
And then it centers in on Pudding.
Look, she's got 3 eyes.
So, Buccaneer, Lunarian, and members of the Three-Eyed tribes. Interesting. Then we cut back to Egghead.
It's Nika!
And we cut to Bonnie as she goes,
if there's one score I have to settle, it's with you!
With that. And then it has Saturn who's causing all of his limbs to just shoot towards Bonnie with him going,
with that mimicry, a pale imitation.
And then Luffy goes, get him! And it cuts to Luffy, who kicks away Saturn's leg so that it doesn't... Luffy is the ultimate wingman for this moment. It cuts him kicking away the legs of Saturn so Bonnie can get a clear shot. And Saturn still has that animalistic appearance on his face, and Luffy's just laughing. And then Bonnie with tears in her eyes, we get a flashback to Saturn. Back when he first met back when he beat up Kuma when he was a child during the Celestial Dragon's human hunt.
Your only options are slavery and death. History itself chose them for you.
You'll pay for what you did to my daddy and what you did to my mommy.
And this is the first time we see Kizaru, who is still laying down after all this time. It shows the face of Kizaru, and he's just laying on his back, still on the same ship, mind you, just laying back while Bonnie goes,
You'll pay for what you did to my daddy and what you did to my mommy.
and then it cuts back to Saturn, and it also shows the face, of Sentomaru as well.
I performed a chemical experiment on your mother.
You people aren't gods, but gods do exist.
And then it shows, wow, Ginny talked to her daughter before she died.
Hi, Bonnie. It's me. I'm your mommy. He'll show up and save you. But gods do exist, and so do heroes.
And it cuts to Kuma, who's laying on the deck of who's like against the side of the ship. But it also cuts back to her memory of him, with him like dancing like Nico. Doom da da da, doom da da da.
I wish we could have lived together as a family. There were times I wanted to die if I had to be alone. But I won't. I'm going to live.
Wow, this is the second time we had this. The first time was Robin screaming, I want to live! And now we have Bonnie saying something. She wanted to die if she had to be alone.
But I won't. I'm going to live because they wanted me.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you for being born. And it shows Kuma as he's holding a young Bonnie, a young baby Bonnie, but it also shows Ginny there as well.
Because they wanted me to be alive! Liberation!
And it cuts to Luffy, who's hockeying up as well, and he's right behind Bonnie. Mind you, I believe he is in his giant state behind Bonnie. As Saturn goes, insects, vermin!
Liberation!
And then we cut to Iceberg. There's the members of Galila. It cuts to Iceberg and the members of Galila as they're listening in, as Vegapunk continues.
If the worst should come to pass, I want you all to take care of yourselves. No matter what should happen, I believe in the intelligence of mankind. I believe in science.
And then it shows the transmission starting to fizzle out. We are not even halfway. We're now officially halfway through. There's still more.
I believe in science.
And then it shows, what is this place? It shows a section of Egghead where it's on fire all over, but it cuts to a building that says Vega on the front. I feel like it's interesting that we're centering in here. Then the message starts to get fizzled, starts to, cut in as he goes,
Roger died 25 years ago.
He must be saying Roger.
Roger died 25 years ago. Whitebeard died 2 years ago.
And mind you, let me not overlook all the people who are being showcased here. So first, we have Iceberg and the members of Galila. Then when he says, no matter what should happen, we are cutting to Caesar Clown and Vince Smoke Judge arguing with each other for some reason. And then when he says,
I believe in the intelligence of mankind,
it cuts to basically the old dudes who mess with weather up on their own personal cloud where Nami was training. It cuts to that. And then it cuts to Jupiter and Warcury, who are apparently trying to destroy the robot.
Roger died 25 years ago. Whitebeard died 2 years ago. But the fall of these legends was merely the prologue of a new era.
And then Bonnie, along with Luffy, just beat on Saturn with Liberation Mika Punch! And mind you, Bonnie punches Saturn directly in his face while Luffy just delivers a whole bunch of giant-size, hockeyed-up Gatling punches. Whoa! And Saturn gets punched to pieces. To pieces!
And now, these people who refuse to buckle under any and all suppression.
And it shows Saturn. It shows Saturn punched to pieces as he starts to fall towards the ocean. And then the giants cheer.
Yeah! Go, ba, 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 ba.
And then Bonnie just starts crying. And then Luffy just starts laughing. He blew it to pieces. Good job, Bonnie. And it shows Kuma, and I would dare say that a little smile cracks. I want to say a little smile cracks across his face just a little bit. And then it cuts to Dorian Broggy. Look,
Isn't that your ship?
as we still have that explosion that happened still occurring in the air, we still have the explosion still happening. A lot of this stuff is happening within seconds of each other. The explosion of Atlas causing the Sunny to shoot forward, and it's falling towards the giant pirate warrior ship. Giant warrior pirates. Sorry, pirate warriors on the brain.
Isn't that your ship?
It's the Sunny!
Falling! Dying! Help! Falling! Dying! Help!
And this is Usopp, and everyone is screaming. Well, he's the only one who's really screaming while Chopper is holding on to Jinbei's top knot.
They are the ones. These people who refuse to buckle under any and all suppression. They are the ones who are the closest to the truth, ironically enough. Then again, perhaps it was Roger who sent them there.
And then we get a flashback of Roger.
My treasure? Why, it's right where I left it. It's yours if you can find it. I've let everything in the world there. Ha 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 ha!
Then we cut back to Rayleigh, who is just unconscious, with Shocky going, "You're going to catch a cold, Ray," as she covers her husband up with the cloak as he's just asleep. And then we cut to other people in another part of the world going, "Woo, Vegapunk! I like the sound of what you're saying!"
The person who winds up with it may not be the one Joy Boy desired.
Then we cut to Hideout of Emperor Blackbeard, Pirate Island full of lead.
Is the Commodore's crew back yet or what? I can't just wait around like this.
Then we cut to Ship of Emperor Red Hair on the Red Force. "Captain, you might have had too much."
No, not yet. No, I'm not. You're drunk.
And wow, Shanks, after bodying Kid, is just traveling across the seas, and he's just so drunk right now. Then we cut to Hideout of Emperor Buggy, Empty Bluffs Island, and everyone on his crew in the Cross Guild. "We weren't wrong after all, Chairman Buggy. You always find a way to outdo our wildest imagination."
Huh?
"We had no idea the story was this vast."
Huh?
"There's no ceiling to your ambitions!" And Mihawk and Crocodile are all like,
These are the fools.
You decided to side with them, not me. I'm just here so I can lay low." They're just looking at this like, I can't believe how delusional these people are. They're baffled. Then we cut to Marine HQ. Marine HQ. "It cannot happen! We must find it first!"
Then who's going to save?
"Then who's going to save the people? Think, idiots!" So we're at Marine HQ, and they're hearing everything that Vegapunk is saying.
There's no stopping the tide. The fate of the world now rests in the hands of the one who finds it. The person who lays claim to the One Piece.
Wow! And wow! Vegapunk just put it out there. He just put it out there. The fate of the world lies the person who
The fate of the world now rests in the hands of the one who finds it. The person who lays claim to the One Piece.
Now, here's the thing. This final chapter showcases a lot of significant people. It shows all of the emperors: Shanks, Luffy, Blackbeard, Buggy. Then it shows Akainu, Sakazuki, if you want to just call him by his regular name now, since that's technically his admiral name. Sakazuki. Then it shows Dragon, Then it shows an unknown person that is holding some sort of sword. They're completely covered. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the man with the burn scar. Then it shows the Im-sama. Then it shows Kobe. Then it shows Kuzan. Then it shows Figureland Garling. And then lastly, it shows Sabo. To be continued. What a chapter to get on the 27th anniversary of One Piece. Oh goodness, hold on, Neil Johnson. Woo! Neil, y'all, hold up, Neil. We gotta celebrate this real quick. Thank you, Neil, for being a member for 27 months, my man. Luffy's power to hold on, let me wait. There we go. Luffy's power Luffy's power to inspire is going to drag a lot more people like Bonnie up to the top tier for the end game. It really is. This dude, look, this is what Mihawk said during the Marineford War. I'll look at everyone else's comments real quick, but I need to like piggyback off of what Neil just said. Luffy's scariest ability is not his devil fruit power or his willpower, but his ability to draw people to him. This is something that Mihawk noticed and said was an incredibly dangerous thing to have during the Marineford War. And piggybacking off of what you said, Luffy's unwillingness to be bound by anyone or anything is going to inspire people to do the same. Sure, he's a pirate, but he's a pirate who wants to be the most free. And that's something the world government and most of all the Gorosei don't want to happen. So let me go ahead. That's the end of the chapter. Time to read what you guys have said. Let's see. Yo, everyone. Cohagen, Halster, Ozzy. Greetings, fellow peoples, and happy 27th birthday to One Piece. Yes, yes. But we have a break next week. Not surprised. Why has Jinbei got pink on his face? Do you mean in the color page? I mean, it could just be like the color tone, because, I mean, it's on everyone's face. It's on everyone's face. Let me see. Nami-swan! I like how Luffy says that Bonnie is the one that needs to do it. Yeah, because Luffy could easily take the shot and be the one to beat up on Saturn, but he decided to punch everywhere except for his face because he left that honor to Bonnie. And given actually, you want to know something very, very unique here? When it comes to their regeneration, the Gorosei's regeneration, and frankly, when it comes to Luffy and everyone attacking, Saturn and other members of the Gorosei, they've been able to shrug off a lot of it. But here we see that all these punches, they literally was breaking his body apart. Now, we don't see Saturn actually fall into the ocean, because if he's a devil fruit user, that's death. That is just straight up death. If he's officially Canis, thank you, Cohagen. Thank you, Halster. Canis, that's her name. That's a lady from Skypiea. Thank you. I forgot it. But we see his body falling apart into pieces towards the ocean, but we don't get a splash. So it's unknown if he fell in there. If he fell in there, ain't nobody getting him. Because the Gorosei ain't gonna be able to do it, because if the rest of them are officially devil fruit users, or if they have that limitation, they ain't gonna be able to get them. But one thing I really like to note is the fact that of all these punches that we've seen Luffy do, this dude went the extra mile to make sure they hurt extra hard, to the point where he's punching off limbs and punching holes in people's body. Now, back when Luffy was learning Future Sight and trying to get better at it, this was all the way back in Udon. I'm taking you guys way back because I remember this. Remember when he had Babanuki, where he saw a future where Babanuki was going to blow up a whole great deal of prisoners, innocent prisoners, and Luffy saw it, and he tied up Babanuki's nose to keep his elephant half from shooting out an explosive cannonball, and we just seen Babanuki's body just explode. And I was thinking, that has to be the most ruthless thing I've ever seen Luffy do, making a person explode. Here, we have Luffy, and he's punching hard enough to leave holes in Saturn's body. When we've seen Luffy punch someone, it's usually enough to just break bones and mess them up. But here, in combination with his hockey and him being in a giant state as well, along with Bonnie, he is literally punching holes in a person. The intent is to break him down. So I found that really, really sick because we've never seen Luffy go that extra mile to leave holes in people's bodies before. So, interesting. I think Wiper is there, but it's hard to tell. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. May her antennas live long. Yep, Gan4. Thank you, Gan4. Let's see. And the Shandoran girl name is Isa. Yes, Isa as well. Kizaru is definitely deep in thought with that. Yes, because he gets a speech bubble. In that panel, he gets a speech bubble when Bonnie was saying, like, I'm not doing this for my daddy. I'm doing this for my daddy, but also for my mommy. It shows Kizaru, if he didn't have anything to say, he wouldn't give him a speech bubble. But here he's just purposefully not saying anything at all, and Oda gives him a speech bubble here. Let's see, it looks like Kuma is cracking a slight smile on his face. I know, I saw that. I see Haradis too. My bad, he does look similar to Haradis. Is it Haradis? Can someone tell? Because I cannot tell. Definitely Haradis. Your eyes are not playing tricks. Thanks, Ozzy. I just generally wasn't sure. Let me see what else you guys have said, because you said a lot. Let's see. I like how it's all cracked still and just isn't magically fixed up. Mm-hmm. Boo, Fraudgy, the clown. Psycho is in the building. Greetings. Yeah, Psycho, it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. Now, Buggy is just that charismatic. It's like he can only roll natural 20s when it comes to any charisma-related checks. He has literally 0 stats elsewhere, but all of his stats went into luck and charisma. He is the epitome of speech 100, but all of his other stats are incapable of raising. Let's see, and you see Garling in this panel. He will be part of the endgame. Oh, he most definitely will. All of the Holy Knights will. I know they are. Not just the leader of the Holy Knights, but all of them. So the fact that they showcased Garling here, oh, he's definitely going to become a major element. Along with the other person that's at the end of this chapter, that's right underneath Dragon. Could this be the man who has the burn scar that they're referring to, that has that last road poneglyph? Could this be the man with the burn scar? Because he's the only person that comes to mind. Because we have Shanks, Luffy, Blackbeard, Buggy, then Sakazuki, Dragon, possibly the man with the burn scar. I'm just saying, that's a theory. Im-sama, Kobe, Kuzan, Figureland Garling, and Sabo. Ain't no way you're just going to show the face of Kuzan and him not have a specific impact on the story as well. So there's something to think about. Let me see. You see, by the way, is it just me, or does that mystery individual sword look kind of like Shanks' sword? I wouldn't say it looks exactly like Shanks' sword, because sure, he has like a sword with like a curved over guard, but it's not the only one of its kind, though. It just happens to be another sword that has like a guard that goes across it. Say for Shanks, his is more rounded out just a little bit, kind of reminiscent of Roger's sword to a degree. It's kind of reminiscent of Roger's sword. Let me see what you guys have said. Let's see. Fraudgy is not charismatic. He's just the king of fraudulence. I disagree. Kohagen, charisma is the only thing Buggy has, but that's how he can fraud his way out of things so well. Then he tarnished the Yonko name. Maybe. It's okay that Oda is going on break, and congratulations at Neil. Yeah. Oh, yes, because of the member thing. Maybe he's blushing. After all, it is Nami we're talking about. But Jinbei has never been one to, like, blush because of women. Because how many times has he been around Hancock and he's not felt any sort of way about it? So I wouldn't say that. It might just be like, because Sanji's directly next to his face and Sanji's arm is pink. So maybe a little bit of that bled onto his face. And it's not just like he's blushing because of Nami, because that would be something that Sanji would do. Let me see. That's not death. We've seen loads of Devil Fruit users fall into the water and not drown. Yes, we have. Luffy is a special case because you can stretch his neck. Jack is another special case because he is literally a part fish man. So he's able to breathe on the water, he just can't move. Saturn, however, is not the same. That we know of. Sorry, I should say it's not guaranteed death. It really, for most people, unless they have a body that can allow them to stretch their heads above water so they can breathe and not drown, or if they're like a fishman hybrid, I mean, for most, it tends to be death. For most. I mean, Big Mom kind of got swept up on the beach of... So I wouldn't say it's instant death, but it's a death sentence if you remain in there. Let's say it like that. Let's say it like that. It's a death sentence if you remain in there. So it remains to be seen if Saturn has a way of getting out of that water. Because, sure, we have seen Devil Fruit users get swept up in the ocean, but they didn't instantly die. They just couldn't move. So, but still, it still complicates things if you can't move in a medium where you need to get out of it quickly or you risk suffocating and choking to death on water. I'm just saying. Let me say, I wish Conus would have joined the crew too. What role would she have done? Navigator? Sorry, Nami. Archaeologist? Sorry, Robin. Doctor? Sorry, Chopper. Helmsman? Sorry, Jinbei. Shipwright? Sorry, Frankie. Musician? Sorry, Brooke. Marksman, sorry, Usopp. Cook, sorry, Sanji. First mate, sorry, Zoro. Captain, sorry, Luffy. I'm just going through all of them. Or she could just be on the ship. But that's the same thing people were saying about Yamato and Carrot. I mean, you know. But I'm sure Oda has his reasons. Let me see. Nurse for Chopper. He would have just called on Nurse. He would have just went to Zoe and got Nurse Tristan from Dr. Miyagi. Kohagen just wants her there for eye candy. Or Vanderdeckens. Yeah, Vanderdeckens as well. Let me see. True. There's a theory that Shanks has a twin and he may be him, the shadowy silhouette. Oh, I hope it's not the Shanks evil twin theory. Haven't we seen that happen all the time? I don't mind if it's another Figureland, but I hope it's not literally a Shanks twin. I'd be so disappointed. I don't know. I got nothing to say to that theory. Let me see. A little help for him. Just wants to have a little help for him. Hello, nurse. Okay, yeah. All right. This was a good chapter. A good one to go on break with. Once again, see... This is the reason, this is what the world government and the Marines are trying to avoid. They don't want a resurgence of piracy, which got reignited. First, it was started with Roger. Then we had the Great Pirate Era. And then it got reignited when Whitebeard said that the One Piece does exist, and that propelled people even further. Now, 2 years after the death of Whitebeard and 25 years after the death of Roger, now we got Vegapunk. Right before he died. Wow. Haven't you noticed that big names proclaiming that the One Piece exists and talking about the One Piece, they have all died? Just screaming it out to the world for everyone to hear? Roger, first, proclaiming it to everyone, and that jump-started the age of piracy. Then Whitebeard said it in front of everyone who was being broadcast the Marineford War. Now Vegapunk is saying it in front of everyone being forcefully broadcast across every single medium across the planet. All these things that people have in common is that they died right after they died in giving this information. Vegapunk died, and that's the reason why this message is playing. Whitebeard died due to everything that happened before, and then Roger willingly let himself be executed rather than die from his disease, but they all managed to get the message out that the One Piece exists for the entire world to know. Not just a selective group, but literally everyone present across the globe. And now he's saying that the fate of the world now rests in the hands of those who find it. The one who lays claim to the One Piece. So now, I understand why this title is called The Upheaval of the Era. Now the world is going to be once more jump-started by all of this. To be fair, Vegapunk declared it after he died. True, but it was always a big major death pretty much either preceding it or after. The two I mentioned, Roger and Whitebeard, they died after they said it, while Vegapunk, he died technically before the message went out there. But it still counts. It still counts. Major people lost their lives proclaiming that the One Piece exists to the world. That's how I'll say it. That's pretty much how it is. Let me see. While the others declared it before they died, so it's a unique scenario, but you're not wrong. Take that back, or else we'll throw hands. She has no contributes to be a Straw Hat as much as I like Conus. No. Another 10 out of 10. Vegapunk giving another epic speech, just like Roger, Whitebeard, and Odin. Honestly, if Vegapunk's message cuts off right there, I'd be fine. I'd be fine if his message was like, the fate of the world lies in the hands of whoever finds the One Piece. What do you say better than that? I can't think of anything better to tell the world as my final message to the world, that the fate of the world lies in the hands of whoever finds the One Piece. So now the Marines are probably going to mobilize even more now, because it's all like, okay, we need to find it. We need to find it. But it's all like, who's gonna protect the people while you try and look for it, idiots? So we got that. Then we got Pirate Island full of lead, full of its pirates who is all like, when's Commodore Blackbeard gonna come back? We need to go find it now! Like, everyone really wants to find it. There's so much to glean from this chapter. You know what? Let me do this. One Piece. 1121. Let's see if we can bring that up real quick. We're going to drop the lights down low. We're going to drop it down real low. Not really, because then you guys can't see me. Let me see. We got a long summary, quick references. Luffy and Bonnie managed to repel Saturn away from the giant warrior's pirate ship. The Thousand Sunny is about to land at sea, and in his broadcast, Vegapunk declares that the fate of the world will be decided by whoever claims the One Piece. So, not too descriptive with the notes, but it'll probably come back. But overall, just because, let me see, I agree saying Kana should be a part of the Straw Hats makes as much sense as me saying Boa should join the crew. Just because they're One Piece women doesn't warrant them joining the crew, and if I had to join Ozzy and throwing hands with you, then you better prepare for a 2v1. All right, you guys, it's all good. It's all good. We all know the vibes here. Y'all know the vibes. Yeah, I know y'all messing with each other. But we're all family here, aren't we? Lovers of One Piece, as we celebrate a very wonderful chapter on the 27th anniversary of the series. And I really don't think I have anything else to say. I don't want to keep you guys here because I still need to react to My Hero. Then after that, 2 more chapters, and then the series for My Hero is over. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me just say this to all of you. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in to literally everything I do. Not just One Piece stuff, but literally everything. Thank you to my moderators, my members, donators, whoever. I just want to say thank you guys for continuously making this such a happy job to do. I mean, sure, there have been some, downtrodden moments and stuff, but, I'm still happy to do what I do, and I'm glad I get to do it for all of you. I'm just grateful, so thank you. But I'm done. It's time we move on to My Hero Academia. So with that being said, all I can say to you is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later peoples, on to My Hero.